Hola, hola Astra Leaders. Quiero comenzar este video agradeciendo profundamente la invitación que recibí para dar una conferencia magistral en el marco del 25 aniversario de la Licenciatura en la Enseñanza del Inglés, un programa del cual yo soy parte de la primera generación. La verdad, la experiencia fue muy especial, la pasé muy padre y esto fue porque tuve la oportunidad de escribir y también de presentar un discurso completo en inglés. Y aquí es donde quiero invitarte a algo diferente. El título de este video es, como ya te pudiste dar cuenta por la miniatura, Cómo escribir un discurso. Y durante esta grabación vamos a hablar de las partes que conforman un discurso, como el exordio, la argumentatio o la discurso, entre muchas otras. El discurso que verás está en inglés, pero la buena noticia es que puedes activar los subtítulos aquí abajo en español. Así, además de aprender sobre la estructura de un discurso, podrás practicar junto conmigo un poco de tu inglés. Acompáñame en este video y descubre cómo un discurso no solo se escribe, también se vive.
Ad Astra, Ad Astra, Ad Astra, Ad Astra. Tu educación, tu crecimiento. Con el Dr. Jesús Flores. Síguelo en todas las redes sociales como @drjesusgflores.
25 years ago, in this place, someone planted a seed of a dream that seemed bold, to create a space where English would not only be seen as a degree, but embraced as a bridge to other cultures, to other people, to other futures. Can you imagine what would have happened if professors and students had not watered this seed with their effort and their faith? Today, we are not here to imagine that world. We are here to celebrate the world that did exist, the world that this program helped to build. A world where the teaching of English united us and, above all, transformed us. My name is Jesus Flores, and I belong to the first generation of the BA in English teaching. And today, with a heart full of gratitude, I want to walk with you through this story. A story that is mine, yes, but above all, it's ours. 25 years ago, the world was different. The internet was the sound of a screeching modem. Smartphones didn't exist. Learning English usually meant heavy grammar books and cassette tapes that always got stuck in the recorder. And in that context, the BA in English teaching was born. It wasn't easy. I remember my first days, my first classes, where professors explained how human language emerged, or when professors were learning along with us. Because as the very first generation, everything was trial and error. Resources were scarce, but passion was infinite. We were pioneers. We didn't know we were making history. We only knew we were hungry to learn and to connect. We were a small community, no more than 20 people, taking classes in the tallest, farthest tower in the main building. What united us was curiosity and the conviction that teaching this language would be our key to something bigger. Today, in these 5 minutes, I want to invite you on a journey with 3 stops. The first stop, the stop of memory, where we will remember the story that unites us. The stop of transformation, where we will see how the teaching of English shape our lives. And the stop of legacy, where we will contemplate the fruits of this incredible 25-year journey. The story that unites us is full of numbers that inspire. More than 600 students, but more than numbers, it's faces. It's the teacher who now works in a rural community or runs a self-access center. It's the translator who collaborates with international organizations. It's the entrepreneur who exports products thanks to negotiating in English, or the teacher who opens a new school. It's the curriculum itself which evolved, from cassette tapes to the use of generative artificial intelligence to create new activities for teaching English. Myself, when I got my first job at the then Faculty of Industrial Relations, now the Division of Economic and Administrative Sciences, the SEA, during my job interview, they told me, you made a couple of mistakes during your micro-teaching, but that's okay, because you have potential. Now you're studying the BA in English teaching. English teaching did not remain in the classroom. It seeped into our lives and changed us forever. It gave us confidence. It opened our minds. It broke prejudices, especially the prejudice that as speakers of English as a foreign language, we would never have the same impact as native speakers. Let me ask you, do you remember the first time when one of your students thanked you because now they lost their fear to speak English? Or when one of your students went abroad on an exchange program and had to communicate entirely in English? Or when they told you that they were able to score well on an exam like the TOEFL? Those are moments of silent, yet profound transformation. Teaching English gave us a new lens which to see the world. Of course, it wasn't easy. There were obstacles. I remember the criticism from those who said, studying English teaching is not a real degree. They said this out of ignorance, because back then, many schools hired English teachers simply because they had lived in the United States and spoke the language well. But they didn't necessarily know how to teach it. There were also technical challenges, the long hours of teaching practice, the frustration of not finding the exact word. But each difficulty strengthened us. Every mistake was, as Oscar Wilde said, simply the elegant name of an experience of learning. Here, we learn that making mistakes in English was far better than staying silent out of fear. And speaking of mistakes, shall I tell you one that I'll never forget? I have many, but for the sake of time, I'll just share one, a classic one. Once, in class, I wanted to say, I am embarrassed. But instead I said, I am pregnant. The entire class burst out laughing, including myself. That day, I learned two things: the importance of using the right words, and above all, that learning also happens with laughter, with a community that supports you, even when you put your foot in your mouth. Moments like this also wove this story together. Together, we traveled across these 25 years. We saw that memory unites us as a community that began with a dream and with effort. We confirmed that transformation is real. English teaching changed our minds, our hearts, and our futures. And we witnessed that legacy is alive. In every classroom, in every graduate, in every project. This degree did not only teach us methods for teaching a language, it taught us to be citizens of the world. We reached the end of this journey, but it is only the beginning of another, because a seed that has grown strong for 25 years is now ready to bear even more fruit. To the founders and professors, thank you. Your vision and dedication built this home that embraces all. To my fellow graduates, let's continue to be ambassadors of this legacy. Let's keep connecting, teaching, transforming. To the students who carry the torch now, the future is not yet written. You will write it with your talent and your passion. Learn, teach, transform. Learn, teach, transform. Learn, teach, transform. The BA in English teaching is more than a degree. It is a family. It is a bridge. It's the story that unites us and the English that transforms us. And my final 10 words. Thanks for being part of this valuable transformation. Y antes de despedirme, quiero pedirte que apoyes a este canal con un like, que te suscribas si todavía no lo has hecho y que también, por favor, actives la campanita para que YouTube te avise cada jueves cuando publiquemos un nuevo video. Recuerda, Adastra, tu educación, tu crecimiento. Nos vemos en el próximo episodio, mis queridos Astra Leaders. Hasta la próxima. Chao.